Welcome to episode 21, not 23, 21 of the Illinois podcast. I am Joe. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Neha. How you doing today, babe?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you?
Better, because I'm with you. We know how that rolls. Y'all know how to get a hold of us. Continue to do so. We've already worked that out. So this week, I believe, actually tomorrow, because we do this on Wednesdays. Spoiler alert. Tomorrow, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks play in the finals, right? For all the money, right? For the big cheese, you know. What are your thoughts on the game? The games, best of 7.
It's hard to say. I mean, there's some pretty tough competition going on there. Dallas versus Boston. We got, JT.
Jayson Tatum.
Jaylen Brown.
JB.
Versus Luka and Kyrie.
Luka Doncic.
Dynamic duo on both teams.
Yes.
I mean, it's really hard to say, but I think it might be in Boston's corner.
Well, wow. So you're picking Boston when we start off here? You're thinking Boston's going to probably win? I mean, they're favored.
I mean,
it's not going on a limb,
I mean,
it really isn't.
I mean, it could go either way.
Right.
But the best sports analysts are saying it's going to be Boston.
Well, it's going to be Boston because Boston had the best record in the regular season. It's going to be Boston because they have home court advantage. It's going to be Boston because they've been there before. There's
well, the Mavericks have been there once. They've been there 3 times, I think.
That's the 3rd time.
And
with this group though,
they've won.
Like Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been. That you're right, by the way. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been in the finals together. Now Kyrie has too with the Mavericks. Let's not forget that because when he was with Cavaliers, kind of helped save LeBron James' legacy with a amazing performance, memorable performance. So there's 2 things really quick, and then we're going to move on to more basketball. There's two things I'm thinking of just right off the bat. First thing is, again, Boston's got a home court advantage. Boston's been the best team.
For the first game.
For the first 2 games.
First 2 games.
Yeah, it goes 2-2, 1-1-1.
I mean, they're not going to win the series with the first 2 games.
Well, it's a best of 7, so they couldn't. But you're right, they're not. Boston's got a player named Kristaps Porzingis that was really good during the years. Been an all-star before. Played with New York in his prime, I suppose. Although he's still younger dude. Also played with Mavericks, by the way. Played with Luka, and he's on the Celtics. Hasn't played all playoffs, and he's supposed to come back. And I think he could be the game changer because he's a big guy. Without him on the court, Boston's a little small. But Dallas is going to be tough for a couple reasons, not just because Mark Cuban's the owner. Luka and Kyrie are arguably, and I don't even know how much we should argue,
the best clutch combo, right?
Right on. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So if they're close games, and Celtics were having a lot of close games in the first.
But they kept losing game 2, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of game 2 losses. I actually think. And Mavericks are 9-2 on the road, best record on the road. One of the best records of all time in the playoffs on the road. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Mavericks are going to steal a game in either game 1 or game 2. I don't know which one. Kind of hope in game 1, Luka Doncic just scores 40 points and they win and he just goes beast mode. Because honestly, I
mean, we could see that from Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum,
very sure, or Kyrie as well.
Yeah.
And that's why
there's 4 great scoring players.
Agreed.
On either side.
Agreed. So I'm with you. I'm going to pick the Celtics. Actually, how many games do you think? So it's out of 7. How many games do you think it'll go?
It might be a gentlemanly sweep.
A gentleman's sweep. I love the fact that you keep using it. And you say gentlemanly, and I got to be honest, I feel like writing everybody that's ever said gentleman's sweep and just say from now on, let's just call it gentlemanly sweep because it sounds so much nicer. It sounds hoity-toity too. It's it's kind of like old school.
I thought you said it was a gentlemanly sweep.
The gentleman's sweep. It's gentleman's fake.
I don't know. I have,
but it reminds
me. You always tell me I have hearing problems, so
that's and I
get up there, so
I have vision issues. You have hearing issues. We're not getting any younger. But I think it could be a gentleman. When you say gentlemanly sweep, though, really quick before we move on, I always think of like an old like 1940s movie where it's like, like we gotta get the robbers, like like that kind of thing, like, and everybody's like wearing suits and stuff, like,
or it's like a classic like polo match.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh yeah.
Like in England,
maybe
or something.
and somewhere there's tea and crumpets. Yeah, let me get some tea and crumpets
after our gentleman's sleep.
Gentlemanly sweep. But anyways, I think it's going to be the Celtics too. I say in 6. I say it's going to be a 6-game series. You say 5. I say 6. But I think it's going to be exciting, and I know we're both excited for it.
Well, like every amount they can win, or like however many, like there should be a term like this. It's like this kind of sweep.
Right.
Like if it's a 4 sweep, it's just
sweep.
like
they call it sweep.
It's just called, but it's like it should be like a renegade sweep or like.
Oh, you're talking like X-Men style and stuff like that. I like it. Okay. All right. Oh, I like that. So if it's 6-game, it's like it's a Wolverine sweep,
Yeah.
I like that. But we'll see. I know we're gonna be watching it starting tomorrow, and I know we're stoked about that. What we have been watching a lot of is your gender balling. Balling, right?
Yeah.
Just completely and utterly just balling. So floor is yours, babe. What do you want to discuss when it comes to the WNBA?
First, I want to talk about how a lot of the rookies, like, they've been getting beat up on.
Yeah.
A lot of them getting really popular with a lot of the endorsements.
Yep.
And a lot of the some of the other younger players, not rookie, a lot of jealousy going on. So they've just been getting beat up on, a lot of fouls not being called. And it's not only Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's been kind of the target, but that's
Angel Reese got taken down by her throat the game before the whole Caitlin Clark incident. So
Caitlin,
there's other
Angel
people.
Reese,
there's other people getting.
There's another Angel who's a vet. I think she's retired, but I think she's around 37.
Okay.
I forgot what team she was on before her retirement, but Angel McCoughtry. I
don't think it's Angel McCoughtry, but I like it.
It is.
It's something like that.
It is.
Okay.
So she went on this interview, and there was also a story published.
Nice.
And she's just like, well, the teammates on, Fever, Sky, whatever, whatever team the rookie's on, they need to step up and get in the faces of the other team players that are like getting putting the beat up on, like protect, Caitlin or Angel or whoever is getting the backlash or getting the beat up on. That's not happening anymore. Like she was saying, like, when I was a rookie, she went through it all. Like I'm sure other rookies or run number 1 drafts, particularly like Brianna or whoever.
Candace Parker.
Right, Candace Parker, Diana.
Bree Stewart.
Right, so all them,
Diana
like,
Taurasi.
teammates would come out and, like,
help
get
out
in the faces, protection. So she's thinking, Angel Reese, Angel McCoughtry, is thinking about, coming back, free agent.
Go to the Fever?
Getting possibly the Fever.
Oh, I love it. That's
she's like,
awesome.
I'm going to be up there.
The enforcer.
Helping Caitlin out, an assist. She's like, this is not right,
So again, and I don't want it, and then you're going to continue. I have to talk about what
right.
I've come late, and by the way, so have you. It's not like when I first met you 5 years ago. You were watching WNBA and other stuff, like right, like together.
You met me in like junior high or high school, like 96 Olympics, of course.
Yes.
I was doing that, but
then it kind of died down.
But I'm a bandwagon.
So your words, not mine, although it's been my words before. But if I can relate to anything in the NBA, and yes, I know, but it's something I have a big background to. I got to watch that guy's whole career in Chicago. I even watched him in Washington, by the way. But the Bulls when Jerry Krause, the GM that's been much maligned by, to be honest, the GOAT, Jordan and Pippen and others, a phenomenal GM. They used to call him Crumbs. But like the first year Michael Jordan played basketball, the GM who then took over, he didn't draft Michael. He came, I think, the very next year. He noticed like people are beating up on Mike. So that year, his first draft, he drafted a guy out of Virginia Union, which is a very small school, primarily black college, by the way, named Charles Oakley. And Charles Oakley played with the Bulls for 3 years, and his role was, remember we said we don't care anymore, don't let anyone fuck with Mike. If someone fucks with Mike, you get in their grill, and if you got to come swinging or do whatever you got to do it. So, again, and I know I've referenced this, but it's only more because of the attention, not the talent. There's a lot of similarities between Caitlin Clark and Michael Jordan based on the attention, not the similar talent. In fact, I would say Caitlin Clark, definitely reminds me more of like a Steph Curry and Magic Johnson kind of player, like put together, shoot and make great passes. And Michael wasn't doing either of those, wonderfully well. But if there's anything I would like to see, not only with Caitlin, but also with Cameron, who is leading the league, or is, I think, third now in the league in blocks, but still getting crushed. Angel Reese, who, again, the day before we were talking about with the Caitlin thing, like Angel Reese literally got took him out of her throat and pounded on the ground. It was crazy. Nobody said a word. I think some of these teams need old-fashioned Angel McCarthy or
McCaffrey.
Yeah, McCaffrey. They need those chicks. So I hope that happens.
Yeah, and it's just about good old-fashioned, teammate.
Look it up.
Just supporting your.
You're
teammates.
my family.
Yeah, I got you.
You mess with my bro, you mess with me. You know
exactly.
what I mean? These assets. What else did you want to say about the dub? Can we call it the dub?
The dub.
Let's call it the dub.
And basically, Kelsey Plum, she's kind of the spokesperson for collective bargaining. And that's one of Joe's favorite players.
Love Kelsey.
She's kind of speaking out.
She's easy on the eyes, guys and girls. She's easy on the eyes.
She's not we don't want to be paid the same as NBA players,
right.
But we want to be paid our fair revenue share.
Right. So revenue share is becoming a huge thing that she's kind of at the forefront of.
Right.
Which is going to afford a lot more opportunities, a lot more incentives, and a lot more revenue streams.
Right. So annually, WNBA brings in $200 million. NBA brings in $10 billion. But
wait, really quick, because I want us all to see what's happening, because we're going to be a part of this WNBA expansion. But you said the WNBA brings in $200 million, and the NBA brings in $10 billion.
Yes, but this year viewership has skyrocketed. Oh my god! Because
of Caitlin, because of Angel,
and because of that is leading to
because it pretty much
us and so many other people,
hopping on the
mass people. They are just learning about so many other players because of this inception. And I mean, now we know about Bree Stu. We know about Candace Parker. We know about...
Well, I knew her.
Right. And we know about Sabrina.
And Diana Taurasi.
We know about Diana. We know about Angel McCaffrey.
Aja Wilson.
Alyssa Thomas.
Alyssa Thomas. That's my girl, by the way.
Right.
That might be my favorite player. That might be my favorite player. She's a triple-double machine. I love me some Alyssa Thomas, by the way. She's So, one of the things that, people have been spouting about, and I want your reaction to this, a lot of people are spouting about the fact is there's this discrepancy when it comes to paying folks in the NBA and the WNBA. In fact, just starting now, the women are finally getting paid appropriately, right? Now, really quick, and then I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the man to dominate the women conversation.
No, it doesn't matter. I want you to sometimes bring it to the front.
Yeah. I want to bring this to the front. So the reason the men are paid what they're paid right now is because of what you already said.
Yeah.
Is because there's so much more revenue.
It's not fair. Things are not fair.
No, but what can change things is not really us saying it's not fair, or even people talking about it, is more so
is a collective bargaining.
And more people going to the games, more people watching the games, more people buying apparel, more. And I wanted to correct something. Not only more women who should have been following this crap from the beginning, but more guys like me that are coming along with the party because their wives or their significant others or girlfriends or their friends or their sisters or their mothers or their grandmothers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's women watching. It's everybody watching.
Everyone needs
Everybody needs to
more
watch.
of that happens. There's going to be increase in revenue. And once those increase in revenue streams happen, then what happens? That means then the salaries increase, right? Because everybody gets a piece of the pie, which is what you're truly talking about when it comes to...
Right. And so what this means is the last 2 years, the WNBA has made a profit. And so revenue share, what I'm saying is when LeBron sells a shirt, he gets 50% of that.
Women don't get any
when they get a TV contract, they get 50%.
Right.
From in their salary.
What?
Women, they don't get a dime.
Right.
If I buy a Caitlin Clark shirt, which I just did, I paid like $25 for it. Caitlin Clark didn't get a penny of that.
So what Kelsey Plum is doing, and by the way, Kelsey Plum,
and there's a bunch of them.
Thank you.
But she's the spokesperson.
I appreciate you, no matter what, Kelsey.
Yeah, we all appreciate Kelsey.
I appreciate you for what you're trying to do for the women. And for equity and stuff like that.
Sport.
Yeah, and for the sport. So
I mean, we all appreciate the sport. We want women to be paid fairly.
Right. Kudos to Kelsey Plum, who I love. And I want to get a jersey. Maybe not. But maybe a shirt. Maybe a t-shirt with her number.
But it is on the way. It is super on the way. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese are like the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird of WNBA.
Okay, so that's
leading the way.
Okay, that is so going to be a topic another time because there's so much to be said. If you know history of the black woman, Angel Reese, and the white woman, Caitlin Clark, kind of each having like a type of rivalry and what that kind of does and what that can do in a positive way. And what I look forward to is back in the day when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird helped change the NBA and help more eyes to the sport, gaining popularity. Then later on, Michael Jordan took it and ran. What I'm looking for, because I don't think Caitlin Clark's the next Michael Jordan or Angel.
It might be Juju or
what's our girl's name? The other one. What's the other girl's name?
It starts with an R.
Oh gosh.
Ricky?
We're gonna. Oh gosh. I wish. You know what? That's not your fault. But
we'll get it next time.
Whatever that. Yes, we'll do it next time.
One more thing to say,
please.
So it is on the way.
Yes.
Viewership. I don't even know the percentage of how much it's increased, but we know it's increased insanely. But one recent game, we all know like there's been sellouts of Fever games and even some of the other.
But specifically Fever games. But just so everyone knows.
One game on May 17th against the Aces on NBC was the most watched WNBA game on NBC.
Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's just keep the progression. Let's keep it up. Let's keep doing what they're doing. I'm just enjoying the whole experience though. And I know we've talked about this before, but watching the WNBA reminds me of when I learned how to play basketball. Okay? Because it's not an above the rim game. And in the WNBA, in the regular NBA now, there's a lot of 3-pointers, but other than 3-pointers, it's basically like guys going to the hoop and either doing layups or doing dunks and stuff, right? So it's kind of like what they would call above the rim.
Yeah.
What I love about the WNBA is because no one's really dunked. I think Brittany Griner's got, I think she dunked at least once this year or something. But I mean, it's pretty few and far between. I just love how it's so textbook. When you watch the WNBA, it's like when you were a kid, boy or girl, when you were a kid learning how to play, and when you were a kid, how you play. Because you weren't dunking or anything, but you were like making a correct chest pass, and you were boxing people appropriately, setting picks, going for rebounds, entry pass. It's a beautiful game. So I hope everybody start watching it. It's okay. I know I've talked to some guys. I talked to a guy a couple of weekends ago, and he's like, "Oh, I don't watch the WNBA." And then I said, "Well, yeah, but you don't watch the NBA either. So maybe not you, but like everyone else is like interested in this or something. Just give it a shot. I think you'll dig it. I dig it. I enjoy it. I think it's great, and I love watching it with my beautiful co-host here." But there is some Major League Baseball news, and that is the fact that again a player, it's not, again, this is pretty.
He bet on the game.
Well, what he did, and he's now been suspended for life. And what he did, apparently, is he bet on his own team.
Wow.
And was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about this. Like, you shouldn't bet your own sport no matter what. You shouldn't. But if you're going to bet your team, bet your team wins. Because all that means is you just like play as good as you can or better. You don't affect anything. But if you bet your team loses and then all of a sudden you strike out, you make an error, you do some stupid stuff, you're going to get caught. But anyways, we don't say you should bet unless it's legal. But if you play a sport, don't bet your sport. And don't be gone. See what's going to happen now with DraftKings and with ESPN Bet and all these accessible betting options now. Because before you had to actually like before you'd have to like go to a casino, you know, or a riverboat or something and make the bet there. And now just pick up your phone and boom, you know, you can do it right away. So there's going to be more of this happening. What frightens me, because by the way, Javante Carter, who was already in a lot of trouble for the NBA, suspended forever, like supposedly he also did that, where he bet on his team and he was doing individual bets where he wouldn't like get something. Like it was like, oh, Javante Carter, is he going to hit 1.5 3-pointers? And then he was just throwing bricks, and just throwing bricks. But apparently the reason he was doing it is because there was some seedy in it. If you're going to bet legally, it's almost just like marijuana. Just like alcohol, just like anything else. It's legal now. Just do it legally.
Why would they do it? Like, they can easily get caught.
Well, because everybody is so controlled by money. Where if you go like, hey, I know I have 10,000, but if I can have 20, I want that.
But there's so many avenues to gamble.
Agreed.
I mean, like solitaire.
It's also kind of a sickness, though. It's almost like asking somebody.
Why won't they just bet on basketball?
But it's almost like asking.
Football.
But it's almost asking like, why does an alcoholic drink? You know, to some degrees, it's just a disease. And when people are like, and I've never been like had a bad gambling issue. I've had other issues. Everybody, I'm human, fallible, just like my wife, just like everyone you'll meet in your life. We're all fallible. But I have never had like an extreme gambling issue. But I know of people that have. And this is way before it was like easy to do so. And you know, you would back in the day, you would gamble with like really seedy individuals. It was like the whole like old school mentality where you're like betting with people that are associated with mob type behavior, where if you didn't pay your bet, you get your legs broken, all this fun stuff. I think like you can make like a certain amount of money like legally betting, but then like if you illegally bet, you can make a lot more. But of course, if you don't win and you owe money, then you owe money. The people you don't want to owe. And so this is what's happened in baseball. Another guy who I can't remember. Roberto Sanchez. I have no idea if that's his name. Remember, whatever Joe says is bullshit. But he's a baseball player that just he's gone. He gone. You know, hasta la vista.
Well, I know. So Ohtani's interpreter's gone.
That's a good thing. That son of a bitch stole like $15 to $30 million from Shohei. And he was like calling people, because remember, Shohei can't speak English for most part. So he's calling people saying Shohei has the social security numbers, has like everything. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm Shohei. And he's talking to, and people are like, oh, this is Shohei. I have no idea what's going on. FBI already cleared Shohei, by the way, and said it was not on him, and that this guy was just a sack of crap that was just taking advantage of. So we'll see. Really quick before we move on to the last thing, the Bears are
not playing the Chiefs during
regular season, but they are on Hard Knocks on HBO, which means everyone's gonna watch the Bears and training camp, and it's gonna be awesome. And I'm stoked and everything.
Well, the Bears and the Chiefs are playing at Arrowhead,
right,
during the
preseason game, right? So there's practices.
So I was thinking we could head out there and get some cheap seats.
And I would literally rather watch
out at stadium.
Yes, in the regular season, not for a preseason
but
game.
Yeah, if they do the playoffs, like we might head out.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, because if they met in the playoffs, that would mean they'd be in the Super Bowl. And if you and I are not going to see the Bears Chiefs Super Bowl, honestly, should be struck down right now because it's gonna happen, right? But we're not gonna do that. But it would be cool. I guess it'd be cool if we can see them this year, because we'd see them in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs will probably get there. It'd be great if the Bears did. So we'll see that. Now, we did this week, again, because we went movie style, and we're not going to see a movie this weekend. So we got to like really...
Yeah, we're going out of town.
We are. Family style. What up? We can see Mom and Pop, which is awesome. But I shouldn't have said that, should I? Joe, don't mention family.
Okay.
Don't mention family. But we did see a movie, and we were interested in this movie. And there's a gentleman who was in a TV show called The Office, and he played a character in The Office named
Jim.
And Jim Halpert.
And his girlfriend was Pam, and they were named after a band called The Doors.
Yes, Jim Morrison. I don't know if that's that. Did we ever look to find out if that's true or not?
That's what you told me.
No, I just said the names are the same. I didn't know if it was true like that.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe if I did, I was goofing.
I'm pretty sure.
I hope that's the case.
That's why they named Jim and Pam after The Doors.
Jim Morrison and Pamela Corson. That would be awesome, by the way. But
I'm pretty sure. Like, why would they do that? Like, they're a cool, awesome show. So.
You know what? I need to look this up when we're dead. Because remember,
when we're dead.
No, look, when we're done. Again, she needs hearing aids. Everyone. My stepfather John. What up, John? He has hearing aids. I've already said.
I'm not borrowing them. He probably has a lot of wax.
Definitely, but I've said, and I know Pop and my mother and Mama. They're not the youngest people in the world. They're awesome. They're amazing. They're wonderful. They're wise. They're cool as heck. Of anyone I know, family-wise, that's going to need hearing aids next, it's not going to be anyone but my wife. Now, I'm going to... Anyways. But, so, the movie was If, and...
Amazeballs.
Do you want to talk about it, or yeah, do you want to talk about it quick?
Well, it was about imaginary friends.
That's what If stands for.
Yeah. And it was awesome.
It was awesome. It's a really good review.
Ryan Reynolds was amazing.
Really good. Really
good. I don't want to say too much because it was just, you guys have to see it. I give it a 5. I mean,
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like an Academy Award winning movie. 5 out of 5.
It's gonna win Academy Award.
It's not gonna win it. It's not gonna win. Maybe visual, like something visual, because the visual pretty.
I mean, it doesn't get nominated for like film of the year.
Yes.
Like
it's not gonna. It's not. You're on.
You're just too.
I think you've been drinking a little too much caffeine, and you're getting over caffeinated. You're going all crazy. Movie was really good, and what I feel when you're not seeing a 5-star movie, because I would not give it 5 stars. I'll tell you what I give it a second, but I appreciate.
You don't give anything 5 stars.
I don't. If you met my dad, you know. Anyways, but when I see a movie, I want to be compelled. I want to be entertained. I would love for something, since I'm seeing a movie, something visually to be cool, to be enticing.
Okay, so those 3 have been checked.
Yes. And then I want to get emotional. And yes. And I want to walk out going, wow, that might be one of the best movies I've ever seen. So that one wasn't checked. But
it was checked for me.
It was. I get it. It wasn't for me. What I will say is this. There's movies we've seen. What was that Challenger movie or whatever? Right? Wasn't that the last one we talked about?
Yeah.
See that on Netflix. We saw something. I don't know. Everything else we've seen has been pretty good. I would just we walked out of that Liam Neeson movie, which is probably good because sometimes you're just not into a movie anyways. But if
I bet we would have stayed, but like I wanted to do something else that day. I was just like, nope, no movie.
I think you wanted to play Uno, but. That we don't.
No, I thought we wanted to play Twister.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. But the movie like checks every box. See it. If you have kids, see it. If you don't have kids,
see it.
Really good, and I tell everyone to. So I'm gonna give it.
And there was 2 characters from The Office in it.
There was. Good call. Yeah. Well, you only could hear one, but he was blue. He was blue. Oh, that was my guy. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. 4. That for me, that's like a 5. Like that's huge. Like definitely go see it.
It's been a great week, guys.
Yes.
So
we appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.